Hello everyone, and welcome to my book, The Story of the Little Mole Who Knew It Was None of His Business. Who knew, wissen, non, nicht, kein, Business, Angelegenheit. And this is the business, it's about the business on his head. Okay, that's a mole. One day, the little mole poked his head out from underground to see whether the sun had already risen. Then it happened. It looked like a sausage, and the worst thing was that it landed right on his head. Sausage is normally eine Wurst. Worst thing, schlechtestes Ding, on his head, auf sein Himmel. How mean! Cried the little mole. Who has done this on my head? But he was so short-sighted that he couldn't see anyone around. He couldn't see who has done this, who has done it on my head. Did you do this on my head? He asked the dove who was flying past. That's the dove. Did you do this on my head? Me? No, how could I? I do it like this, she answered. And this is the poo of the dove. She does a poo like this. A splish, a splish, a splish, plish, a moist white blob landed on the ground right next to the little mole. His right leg was splashed with white. Look at that. Did you do this on my head? He asked the horse who was gazing in the pasture. The horse, did you do this on my head? Me? No, how could I? I do it like this. A flump, plump, 5 big fat horsey apples plopped down within a hair's breadth of the mole. He was very impressed. Did you do this on my head? He asked the hare. Me? No, how could I? I do it like this, answered the hare. That's the hare. And rat-a-tat-a-tat, 15 little round beans shot past the mole's ears. He saved himself with a daring leap. A leap is a jump. Did you do this on my head? He asked the goat, who had been dreaming a little. That's a goat. Me? No, how could I? I do it like this, she replied. A plippity-plop, a pile of toffee-coloured little balls tumbled on the grass. The little mole found them almost appealing. So the mole liked those. Yeah? Okay. Did you do this on my head? He asked the cow who was chewing the cud. That's the cow. Me? No, how could I? I do it like this. And a care plush Kerplosh, a big brownish green pancake, flopped into the grass just next to the mole. He was very relieved that it hadn't been the cow who had done something on his head. Pancake, disgusting. Did you do this on my head? He asked the pig. Me? No, how could I? I do it like this, replied the pig. There. And plop, splat, a little soft brown pile fell on the grass. The mole held his nose. Did you do this on my... He was going to ask again, but as he came closer, he saw only 2 big fat black flies, and they were eating. At last somebody who will be able to help me, thought the mole. Who did this on my head? He asked excitedly. Keep nice and still. Bzzz, the flies were... Buzz, the flies. Keep nice and still. Buzz, the flies. There was a short pause, and then it is clear to us that it was a dog. Dim, dim, dim. Finally, the little mole knew who had done the business on his head. Basil, the butcher's dog. Butcher ist ein Metzger. Also der Basil ist der Hund vom Metzger. Butcher's dog. Quick as a flash, he climbed onto Basil's kennel. This is the kennel. And plink, a tiny black sausage landed right on top of the dog's head. That's the poo of the mole. Satisfied, at last the little mole disappeared happily into his hole in the ground. There you go, the end of the story. Very good.